is Miranda, and today I am here to discuss the second episode of Magic and Misfits, which I gotta say, guys, one of my least favorite things about this show, and that's just making me so sad, is that it's only 4 episodes. Like, after you finish this episode, that means we're officially halfway through, and I love these characters so much, and I truly feel like it's just getting started. Like, they just had their first day of classes, 2 of them got their first wands. Like, I feel like there's still so much to explore and do that I'm really sad that I'm not wrong, right? That it's only 4 episodes. I thought they said that, like, originally, and it just feels like it's so short. And I feel like it was probably like time constraints, you know, but maybe hopefully this is a campaign that could have multiple seasons, because I would really love to see them again in the same setting. And, you know, this kind of idea that I think Jammer was the first one to bring it up of, you know, beat the institution from the inside. So like they're gonna go in and kind of rectify all these issues that they're seeing, because there are obviously a lot of issues. When you really step back and think about it, like, it's kind of messed up that, like, well, first of all, I've thought before that, like, it's kind of messed up that one house of the 4 is just, like, evil. And, like, even the headmistress in this was just, like, that's the house that, you know, like, they're kind of evil, some might say. So it's just, like, at 11 years old, you're kind of put in, like, this house of, like, destined to be evil. And, like, how much does that predetermine, like, you know, your bias of, like, I'm in this house, so I'm smart, so I'm gonna act more smart. I'm in this house because I'm brave, so I'm gonna act more brave. But, like, is it really, like, fair to put them in? Like, there should be, like, a trial basis, or, like, you go to all 4 and see which one you like best. And I do have to say that out of all the characters we've met, the NPCs, the Hufflepuff ones have been the nicest. Actually, no, there was a really nice, Han was really nice, and she was in the Gryffindor-esque house, right? She was nice. So I am, like, really happy that they're starting to, like, make friends outside of each other and stuff like that, because I really thought everyone was going to be just super bitchy to them, since they're, like, the pilot program kids, as they call themselves. And I do feel like we've got they've got their main villain, the main trio, who are supposed to be basically Harry, Ron, and Hermione, which I find hilarious. And they're the ones that they don't like. And I think it's so funny that, like, in other terms, these people that are viewed as the heroes, I guess, right? Like, the smartest, the best in the class are so anti our group. And it's like, I like how they're not, like, outright, I mean, this one they kind of were, but they're not, like, outright hostile. It's more of that, like, subtle, like, backwards compliment or something, you know what I mean? Where it's like, you're kind of like, did they insult me? Except for Fergus. I mean, Fergus, you don't get a pass because you are, like, blindly going along with this stuff, but Fergus is digging Sam, and I think it's so cute. I really hope, like, the ships start moving up pretty quickly, since there are only, like, 4 episodes, but I think they're really cute. I actually kind of like Evan and Dream. I kind of like the fact that she's just, like, so invested in him, and, like, I don't know, I feel like, you know, I wouldn't want them together with her shipping the idealized version of him that she has in her head, but, like, if she gets to know the real Evan and, like, listens to him when he's like, I don't like this, and, like, she helps him with that and come to understand and maybe fix that about himself and be more confident, I think that that would be a really cute ship. I also think him and Jammer would be really cute together, but Jammer seemed to definitely be going more towards Con, which is cool. I liked her too. And I really liked, I can't think of her name, but the mermaid girl. Dude, if I went to school with a mermaid, I would be freaking the F out. And the fact that she, like, was like, oh yeah, like, we do lure sailors to their death and eat them. Like, men are, you know, that's what they're good for. I was like, go girl. And then Evan and Jammer in the back are just kind of like, yeah. It was just nice to see, like, more of the characters and expand the world outside of, you know, the Digby and all those other ones that we met, and then also, like, the weird teachers and headmistress. I love the cauldron professor. I love the idea of making, like, a professor a cauldron. Like, you think about wizard things and it's so the same in terms of how you treat it and stuff like that. Like, think of a wizarding world where there's magic. Like, so much could be possible, and yet I feel like a lot of the, like, mainstream big things are just so in a box where, like, they're all humans, pretty much. Maybe, like, some giants or something like that. All the teachers are witches and wizards. All the students are witches. Like, why not throw a werewolf in there that's a student and not just someone we're afraid of? Why not throw some mermaids? Why not make a teacher who's a freaking cauldron that teaches potions? That's literally amazing and perfect, and I would love to see that. And I think just, like, the imagination Abria has in this world, obviously it's based on something, but, like, just the imagination, the tweaks she does, so astounding to me. Like, I love it. I love that the kitchen, like, brings you food when you want to order it, and it's like a sentient kitchen. And I love that the other teacher for nature is just, like, this, like, peace-loving, vibe-seeking teacher that just, like, comes over and, like, puts a branch over you and stuff like that. Like, I feel like it's funny because I feel like the adults are so useless in terms of stuff. Like, I feel like they're just never helpful when our magic misfits want to figure something out, and that is because of the reason of, like, no one knows what anything is. I mean, they don't know what nukes are. And, like, Evan was like, you gotta. I love every time Brennan as Evan is like, you gotta know. Like, he's just, like, so disappointed. And, I mean, Evan, of all people, who I feel like, you know, has just lived the saddest life, when he's just like, come on. Like, okay. Evan, scaring me still. I said it the first episode was, like, scary. But, like, he definitely, like, has this temper where I'm like, is this the shadow, like, edging him on? Or is the Evan, like, gets upset himself and, like, we just need to, like, work through in healthy communication and stuff like that? Because when, I think it was Peter, right? That kid was like, oh, I heard you sent Digby to hell. And he, like, freaked out and was like, I didn't do that, blah, blah, blah. And was, like, freaking out. I was like, is this Evan or is this the shadow, like, kind of... Because he did that last episode at the end with Digby when he, like, pushed him into the island or whatever. And I feel like Jammer responded greatly where he was like, loved it, loved, like, that you know, were confident and stuck up for yourself. We just can't, we need to do it in a more, like, respectful way. And I thought that was really nice. I love that, like, they're not, like, they're kind of weirded out, as you should be, you know, why some of the stuff that happens with Evan, but, like, they're never like, maybe we shouldn't be friends with him. Like, they're always like, no, bro, we're gonna get you through this. Like, the friggin' when... when his blood turned into a snake blood and started attacking him, and Sam was just like, I'm gonna talk it back into going in his body, and, like, they were all just like, what is that? Like, that, I love, okay, I really love, because they've never done this before, I don't think, with a season, unless it's one I haven't watched, where there are actual scenes, like, that someone drew, I don't know who, so if you know who, please let me know, because I'd love to give them credit, but scenes of what's going on hand-drawn. And I think that's so cool because they did that one, which looked awesome with, like, everyone freaking out about the thing and then Sam talking to it. And then they also did one where, another thing, I love Jammer so much. I love them all, but Jammer, my man, is just like, Jammer could be such a pompous asshole, and instead he's just this, like, caring guy that likes to help everyone and lead, and, you know, is very much like, if you're on my side, like, you're on my side, you know, and if you're not on my side, like, and you come after someone that's on my side, I'm coming after you. And I love when he was like, goat house, boom, to Digby, and was like, yeah, you won last year, but not this year, and they drew that one too. I love how quickly they all, like, accepted the goat house, and we're just like, yeah, like, I think it's so cute of, like, the idea, again, of, like, what Jammer said of, like, we're gonna reclaim this, and we're gonna make it so they kind of understand, like, the things that are messed up about this. And I think it was Evan that said, he was like, we've been here one day and we've already seen things that we are wildly uncomfortable with and have pointed out. And you guys have, like, lived in this society your entire life and no one's like, hey, maybe, because you think, like, if it's a pilot program, you would want to adjust to the kids as much as you want to, like, you know, make them comfortable. And I feel like they're the opposite, where they're like, you have to conform to our standards, where it's like a bit of both, you know, like, you do things our way, but, like, we're gonna make it, like, if this is what you do back there, like, we'll do that too, you know, like, make it more comfortable. Like, you're not just gonna, like, I don't know, just throw them into the thing. Like, how they didn't even give them instructions in the cauldron thing. It was just like, get these ingredients, and they didn't even know where to go and stuff like that. Like, it makes me wonder, why'd you take these kids if you don't really seem invested in their success? They don't have, like, a guidance counselor to, like, steer them in things. There's no history lesson that they can take. There's no muggle studies, you know, of, like, there's just, like, it's weird. It's weird. And I like, too, how when Sam started that, like, mini revolution of being like, your mom's not here, like, your parents aren't here, you can do what you want, and, like, you don't have to tell them. And that one kid was like, my mom's my best friend. Like, it's just so funny that there's, like, an infantileness to them. Like, they think they're just so indoctrinated, I guess, and, like, you know, like, this is the way it is, like, we follow the rules, even if the rules kind of suck, and, like, you are, whichever house you are, it determines who you are for the rest of your life, even though they're, like, 11 years old, and obviously some of them don't like the houses they're in, and, you know, the one that the goat house actually gets a lot of the rejects, so it's, like, clearly you don't fit in one of those 3 houses, but maybe if there were more houses that you fit in, that would be better. And I just think it's very interesting, because I feel like I want to say there's something nefarious and devious behind this idea of bringing the 4 of them there, because A, why these 4, and then B, why does no one really seem that invested? They don't even have a student ambassador. Like, I think the Hermione girl was supposed to be like that, but I think she just volunteered her. Like, I don't think anyone was like, hey, like, let's go check these. Like, I think they just sent them on their way. So it's actually, like, really, I don't know. I am hoping next episode, they said they're going to go to the nurse's office, so I hope they remember that and that they do also figure more out with what's going on with Evan and his shadow and everything. The trailer for next episode looked really cool because that was when Dream was the only one that saw Tallulah, I think her name is pointing her wand at Evan, like trying to do some kind of spell towards him. And this one ended with like some kind of fire thing. I don't know what. It can't be their fault, right? Because they weren't there, so I hope they don't get blamed for it. But it's just like, yeah, I feel like they're setting up those three as the antagonists, but then I also don't trust the headmistress, and I also want to see next episode, I hope Jammer gets his wand. I don't know if Evan ever will, because Evan's whole thing seems to be, and Brennan playing it very well and very like sticking to it, that he doesn't want to use magic. And I think to get the wand, you have to achieve a spell of a certain like higher level, because Jammer did a couple that were on the easier side, like just like a 3 or a 5 or something like that I think he had to hit. And Evan also did the one with the poop. What a weird sentence to say, where he got it and then nothing happened with their wands. But I'm hoping next episode Jammer will get it, because I think Sam and Dream both hit kind of like higher level spells before they got their wands, and I'm just so excited. Dream's wand is so funny and funky. I love it. But then Sam's wand is so cool. Like, it's perfect. I love that it's like a mirror so like she can see it, but then also just like to see them in real life is so, so cool. I hope they get to keep the wands. That would be really cool. And then if they do another season, like they could have their wands and it would just be really cool. So yeah, lots of unanswered questions, but a great world of exploring and meeting new characters and getting the friendships developed. And I just loved it. So if you've seen this episode, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down in the comments and leave any predictions, reactions, like things you have, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!